going, guys? I'm going to be showing you guys 15 FNAT spots you guys can use with Fenrir in order to help you guys win more games in rank. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, for the first FNAT spot you want to use in border, you're going to put it right here in this spot. You're going to throw it from the window like this. Now once you activate it, it's going to catch any attacker coming down the little passageway right here. And you can prep the barricade, like this. That way as soon as they run into it, they're going to be blinded and stunned. They're not going to be able to see. And you can just jump out and get the kill. For the next one, what you're going to want to do, guys, you're going to want to put an FNAT right here where that box was. You're going to throw it like this on the shelf, and that's going to work really well against any attackers trying to push archives like right here, because typically defenders will play around this area right here. So if any attackers try to come in this way and it sets off, that's when you know you can swing safely and kill them, because they're going to be smoked out by the FNAT and they're not going to be able to see anything. The reason why I like putting the FNAT there is, as you can see, it blends in well with the shelf right there. So even if there's attackers on this window, they're not going to be able to destroy it. And from the door right here, as you guys can see, you cannot see the FNAT gadget at all. So an organ that I really like to use a lot is for the attic. I typically put it right there just by the light beam. This one's really good because most of the time attackers will come through attic by just breaching this, whether it's with a map hole, map tricking it on this side, or just opening it up in general. As you can see from this angle, you really can't see the FNAT gadget. So if this is activated, attackers are gonna hit it as soon as they walk in this area right here. They're gonna be gassed out. And if you or a teammate are playing attic, you can use this as an opportunity to get a free kill. Another one I like to use for the second floor in Oregon is gonna be for the bedroom right here. So obviously this is another common way for attackers to push in through, just by the double door right here. That way they can just go try to open the breach right here, or just go through trophy. But if you open these shells right here, you guys can actually fit a FNAT right there. And as soon as attackers hit this area right here, they're gonna get smoked out. They're gonna start getting confused and dazed. And if you're playing in trophy or even playing the head holes in attic, you can use this as a cue to swing and possibly kill anyone that's affected by this. One that I like to use a lot in Oregon, but it's gonna be for the freezer. So you guys can actually put an FNAT right below the sink right here like this. So typically you would have head holes on these freezer walls right here. That way you can have Fenrir playing this and see any attackers that are possibly coming down over here. But if for some reason, if you don't have a defender watching this, you can use the FNAT as just like an indicator. So there's attackers trying to push up, they're gonna run into that FNAT if it's activated, and then that's gonna give you the cue that, hey, someone's in freezer. Or if you're playing the head holes or even here behind the lockers, you could use this to swing out. And as you guys can see from this angle, there's no way of them knowing that there's a gadget right there. Enjoying the video so far, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you want to see more spots like these, let me know in the comments down below. Another really good map I like to use Fenrir is Night Haven. So if attackers open up the IT wall, they start to push IT, you can put a gadget right there in that corner. It's not going to be visible until they cross here, but by that time it'll be too late, because they're already going to get hit by the gadget and they're going to get smoked out. And a lot of times defenders typically play like right here, just in this little hiding spot, as long as you're careful, or even crouch behind the shelf, and you can use this to swing out and get a kill. This is a really good spot to use it, and I highly recommend you guys do this. This one right here is pretty simple, but it's really effective, because it's a lot of times attackers do like to come in through this door right here, and typically they're going to swing this way. They're not going to swing this way because defenders don't really hide there. So they're going to walk in, they're going to get affected by the gadget. If you're playing an IT here, or even behind this pillar right here, you can use this to swing out and possibly move, because as soon as they get hit by that smoke, they're just going to try to find the gadget and just shoot it, so they're not affected anymore. But this is going to be inside, so you want to put it down here, not up here, because if there's attackers playing the window up there on catwalk, or down there, or even coming up the stairs, they can shoot the FNAT. So you want to make sure you put it on the bottom like this. That's what I like using in Night Haven is for the main breach down in the basement. The reason why I put it here and not anywhere else, because if you put it too close over here, attackers that are playing vert, they can just shoot it. So I typically put it as close to the wall as possible. That way I could also cover the entire breach. If attackers end up opening it and then they try to run in and get a plant off, this is the best spot to possibly do it in. And like I said, you can use this to your advantage any way you want. If you want to use the head holes here, you can, because if this goes off, that means an attacker is either really close to the breach or they just walked in. So this should be able to give you an opportunity for a kill. If you're playing Canal, there are a lot of good spots to use FNAT's gadget here. I'm going to show you a couple just so you guys can see. The first one, you can just put it right here, just because it's a really difficult spot for attackers to shoot it, because once they come in through this door, they're immediately going to have to look up, and that's just going to be bad, because typically you'll have feed holes here and a defender watching those feed holes. So as soon as they get hit by this, the defender's going to know, and then they should be able to kill them as soon as they walk in through the door. The attackers can't really see this FNAT at all, even if they're standing outside. So this is going to be a difficult spot for them to destroy it from. This next spot, you might have seen this spot before, putting the FNAT outside the window. So if defenders are not really playing this too well and attackers start pushing up Skybridge, as soon as they hit this point right here, they're going to get affected by the gadget, and then any defenders is going to get an indicator that there's an attacker on the sky bridge and they're trying to push up here. So, I mean, if there is a defender, they could be playing behind the boxes like here or even behind over here, which is pretty common, especially with a zombie. But attackers are going to be confused at first because they're not going to know where the FNAT is and they're not going to expect it to be outside. So you can use this as your opportunity to swing and get a kill. Last one for Canal, I typically like to put one right here by this doorway in archives just because attackers do like to play vert, especially when you're defending basement right here. Typically the RAM player will just go through the double door of the window, throw the gadget, start breaking the floor. But at one point they're going to try to come into this room so they can break the next room over there. I would typically put an FNAT like right here on top. As soon as they walk in this way, they're going to get exposed. Now you could be playing in the other room. You could have feed holes along the wall like this, or you can have head holes here too. Whatever you're most comfortable with, it's completely up to you. So just like that basically, and then that's just going to help you get rid of a huge attacker, and that's going to impact the round heavily because Ram's going to be one of the most powerful operators to use here, if not banned. Guys, so the last map is going to be Cafe. Now I'm going to show you the last 4 spots you guys can use here. If there's attackers on top red, what you guys can do, you guys can put one right here by the light. That's going to do a good job of hiding it from attackers who are past the doorway right here. It's easy. It's more common for them to look this way and this way for gadgets, not looking straight up. And if you have a player playing piano, this is going to be a perfect time to swing if they get affected by this one right here. So for the second spot on Cafe, you're going to want to put it on the side of this trash can right here. The reason you want to put it there is because players who are playing the new hatch like there, they're not going to be able to see the FNAT from that angle. So as soon as they're dropped, they're going to get hit by it regardless. And you know, most of the time there will be a defender playing over there. So if it's Fenrir of all people, they can use this to swing out and kill anyone here. Or the defender from piano can use this to push and be more aggro, and they can corner the guy right here and possibly get a free kill. So for the second to last FNAT spot I use a lot is for prep room right here. So if it's like specifically late in the round, attackers are trying to be aggro and push prep. As soon as they walk in this area right here, they're going to get affected. Now, if you're playing by the half window or someone else is, it's a really good spot for them to get the kill because attackers are going to be kind of far from the door at this point. So they're going to basically just start to look for the gadget at this point, try to find it and destroy it rather than just running out. But if they do, either way, it's going to get them away from this spot and buy you guys more time. Now for the last one, if you guys want to protect small bakery a bit better, you can put an FNAT underneath the table. As you guys can see, it's going to get part of the window. So typically attackers will open this, drone it to see if there's any traps like a frost mat or just a goo, and then they're probably going to see this as clear, so they're just automatically going to jump in. They're not going to check underneath the table for FNAT, so they'll jump in. If this is activated, they're going to get hit by it, and typically a defender will play by the staircase, or if they have this open or not, there'll be a defender behind the bakery, so they can use this as an opportunity to get them before they jump out or before they destroy the FNAT right there.